Let me get set up here. Hey, everybody, welcome. It's Wednesday. I can't see you live, but I just want to acknowledge you for being here with me, for showing up. Some of you are here at 7:30 in the morning. Some of you wake up at 4:30 in the morning to be here. I just want to really acknowledge you and thank you for being here. Now, the universe has this unique way of sending us things right at the exact moment. And this is real-time stuff, you guys. This is about hiding and hiding your truth, hiding your light. And something just happened right before I got on. So I was waiting for 7:30 to hit and I was on LinkedIn. And I noticed that somebody tagged me in a post. And it was a client that I reached out to August 2020. And I just said, hey, how are things going in your business? She ended up signing up for our program. But to see her a year ago to now, she is a different human being. Michelle Cordy, if you're watching, if you're listening, I'm going to tag you in this video. I just want to acknowledge you. And this is a perfect example of what it's like to come out of hiding, to shine your light with the world, to shine who you are with the world. Your transformation is remarkable. I wanted to share this with you guys because, sometimes we don't think that what we have to say matters because our brain is too busy telling us that we're not enough, we're not good enough, we're not smart enough, people don't care, people don't want to hear what we have to say. That is all bullshit, okay? It is bullshit. It's our brain's way of protecting us and keeping us safe. So I want to share a little bit of a story about who I was growing up, okay? I'm going to tell one on myself. I was a major perfectionist. And when I say perfectionist, if you looked in my closet, all of my hangers were color coordinated. I went from light to dark, t-shirts to sweaters. Everything was perfectly categorized and systematic. Every day before I left my bedroom, I would vacuum my carpet. This way I would know when I came in, everything was perfect. Up until a few years ago, I never wore my hair down. I wore a ponytail every single day. And if you looked in my wardrobe, most of my clothes were black, gray, or brown. And up until a year ago, I would never think about wearing a red jacket. For me, that was too flashy, that was too bright. I was worried about what people might think. My whole entire life, I wore a mask. And this mask was hiding this deep insecurity, this deep belief that who I am in the world is not significant or important. Who I am in the world is not anybody people would want to listen to. And I told myself this story so often and so frequently that it became my reality. In fact, when I would walk into a room and somebody looked at me, my immediate reaction was, what's wrong with me? What are they looking at? Do I have toothpaste on my shirt? Do I have deodorant under my shirt? I really didn't believe that people might just look at me for me. I never felt good enough. I never felt smart enough. Even though I got straight A's, if they weren't 90s, they weren't good enough. I spent most of my time here in my head. And I'm sharing this because I know that there are some of you right now that may be feeling the same way, that who you are doesn't really matter. Now, you might even, it might not even be obvious to you. You might be one of those people that works your ass off. You spend 8 hours a day trying to grow your coaching business. You create fancy posts and graphics. You put yourself out there, but you don't really put yourself out there. What I mean by that, the message that you want to say, the things you want to say, your personality, you dim your light because you're afraid that people might not like you. Now listen, I know that there are people here that are like, amen, Tina, amen, preach it. There are other people that are like, God, can't you just shut up? Like, I'm sick of hearing your voice. And there are people that are like totally indifferent. Like, oh yeah, here she is again. But guess what? It doesn't matter because those of you that are still watching, that are still connecting, that are still resonating, you're my people. Right? So consider that there will be people that might not like you, that might think you're too this or too that. It's okay. They're not your people. What matters is that you start getting out of your fear. Get out of that's AKA your head, right? Because your fear is masking your authenticity. Your fear is hiding your light, dimming your light. And I promise you this, your people are waiting for you to rise right now. They're waiting for you to show up because they don't have the courage to show up. Now imagine this, okay? I'm in grade 7. Most of you know my story. I was bullied. What you might not know about this story is it wasn't the act of being bullied that stopped me in my life. It was the decisions that I made about myself when that was happening. See, it's not ever the incident. The incident is what happened. And maybe for some of us, we've had trauma, we've had incidents, we've had things that have happened in our life, maybe over and over and over again. And it reinforced that belief that I'm not enough, I'm not enough, I'm not this, I'm not that. But in that moment, right, when this was happening, when I was afraid to show up on the playground, when I was hiding in the bathroom, after repeated incidents like that, I made a decision about myself that there must be something wrong with me that people would treat me like this. I never once thought, what is over there with them that has them treat me like this? I never thought about that. It was just, there must be something wrong with me. And see, that became my internal dialogue. That became my reality. There's something wrong with me. Now consider whatever happened to you in your past that you made a decision that you can't show up as you, that people won't like you, you're afraid. Consider the only person doing that to you is you. And I know, sometimes it's like, no, Tina, it's not true. It's not, they did this and this is why. Yeah, okay, great. We all have shit that we're hanging on to, all of us. Unless you're not a human being, unless you like came from another planet or something, we all have stuff that has happened and we've all made decisions based on what's happened about ourselves. Now, let's just take this like one little step down. Consider that if you made a decision about yourself, you can make new decisions about yourself. You get to rewire your brain. You know, the sabotaging brain, the one that tells you that you're not enough, that you need to hide, that you have to play small. If you created that, you can uncreate it. But how do we do this? How do we come out of hiding? The first thing you get to do, notice I said you don't have to do, it's not an obligation, but you get to, is you get to start reprogramming your brain by believing something that's powerful. Who are you? Are you unconstrained? Are you confident? Are you self-expressed? You might not feel it right now. It might not feel like that on days when you're sitting there and you're hiding. You know, we have a new client in our program and she did a video, first live video ever. Ayanella, if you're watching, I'm talking about you, girl. And she was scared. She's like, this is my first Facebook Live. And she was scared and she did it anyways. Imagine if we have that feeling and we can take action. What we're doing is we're reprogramming the synapses in our brain from survival to thrival. The more we do it, the more we're reprogramming. See, the problem is we're afraid to take that first step, that first Facebook Live, that first introduction, that first connection with somebody. But if we are willing to just be with the fear and act despite it, this is when magic happens. Brandon and Snippy, I want to talk to you too if you're watching right now. These people have never done a Facebook Live. And the first time I saw them on camera, I'm like, create a show. Like, you have no idea what I can see. What I can see is so much personality. And they had never done a Facebook Live before. And I started thinking, how many people are like Snippy and Brandon that if they just got over their fear and stepped into their courage, what they could give to the world? See, this is what it's about. This is what it's about. If you're willing to get outside your fear, you get to show up authentically. You get to be a real coach. See, because if you're hiding, I'm not saying you're not a real coach, but you are living a pretense. Okay, let that sink in right now. You might have been triggered, but what the world is waiting for are leaders. How can you lead the way if you're afraid? If you're not willing to take bold actions, if you're not willing to get out of your way, your people won't either. You can't help them pull that out if you're not willing. Now, I don't want this to be significant and heavy. What I want is for you to see that you are too big to play small. And it's just that one little 4-letter word, that emotion that is keeping you stuck. Okay, so the first thing I said is just be willing to take action despite your fear. That is the first step. That is the first step to transforming this getting out of your way, hiding. Listen, I know I've shared this before. I'm going to share it again. My first Facebook live, I had to pre-record, 6 times before I went live. And behind me was a wall of notes. Listen, I get it. I so get it. I know what it's like that first time, but I promise you, it doesn't matter if it's messy. It doesn't matter if it doesn't go off perfectly, because your people are just waiting for you to show up. The other thing is, don't be attached to likes and comments. Don't be attached to views. See, what we do is we look for external validation. We look for, how many people watched my video? Guys, I have a 12,000 person community. I have 10,000 followers on LinkedIn. This video that I do every week consistently gets about 200 views. I want you to put that in perspective. If you get 50 views or 20 views or 100, maybe you're getting 1,000. Consider that is 1,000 people that are taking the time to watch you, to listen to you. Okay, and if you've never done a video before, you have no baseline. You don't know what to compare it to see, are people consistently watching, showing up? Who are your groupies? Somebody said to me yesterday, I realized I did a Facebook Live and I have a group of groupies that are following me. I had no idea. Like, what is that like? Knowing that one person, 2 people, maybe 10, maybe 50, they want to hear what you have to say. You don't need 1,000. You don't need 10,000. You need 10 people to listen and say, yes, girl, yes, yes, guy, yes, I get you. That's all you need. What people are really looking for is, are you consistent? Are you going to show up for me every week? So the third thing that I recommend that you do is make something consistent. Create like a little show. Now, I'm not saying that this is a show at 7:30 in the morning, but see, if I do this every week and people start tuning in and they like what I say, it's just a matter of time where that's going to snowball and get bigger and bigger. Right now, it's not. I mean, it is. It depends on how you look at it, but I'm not attached to that. I'm not attached to the results, the outcome. I get to just say what I want to say and not give a rat's ass what anybody thinks, because I know the people that are watching are connecting. They're feeling it. And I'm hoping, my intention is to inspire people to come out of hiding. I also know that the only way to grow a coaching business is for you to come out of hiding. I had a call with a woman the other day. She refused to put her video on. And I asked her, I said, I'm sorry, I can't see your face. And she said, no, I refuse to go on social media or to show my face. And right away, I stopped the conversation. I said, I'm sorry, I can't help you. She's like, what? I said, yeah, my business is about helping people to show up powerfully online and grow their influence and share their message with the world. And if you're not willing to have a breakthrough in that, I can't help you. She's like, I'm simply unwilling. I said, can I just ask you why? And she had a whole bunch of reasons and excuses and considerations. And I said, I get it. What's that going to be like for you as you're growing your coaching business? She didn't want to look. And it's like, that's okay, right? Because that's not my person. I love her. If you're watching, I love you, but I can't help you, right? So I want you to consider this too, that not everybody is going to be your person, and that is okay. It doesn't matter. But if you are hiding behind your social media posts, your pretty graphics, your beautiful pictures, but you're afraid to share your message, ask yourself, what is it going to take for me to show up powerfully? This isn't like a quick fix solution, right? It's one tiny little baby step. If I can go from being scared shitless to do a Facebook Live to not giving a rat's ass what anybody thinks and just showing up with my message, you can too. See, because I know you. I see you because I am you. I know what it's like. And trust me, what you see, like some coaches that are showing up like this, you might be comparing yourself to me and be like, oh, I can never be like that. Cut that shit out too. Stop comparing yourself. Be in action, because this was not an easy journey for me. You don't think that I have that little feeling like, what if nobody watches, or what if people are annoyed by my voice? Or I hear those voices. I hear them. They don't go away. Okay, this is another nugget. Those voices don't go away. They just get quieter as you are taking actions. I don't know. And this could be a limiting belief for me, but it's there for me all the time. Except now I don't make myself wrong for having thoughts, feelings, and emotions. I just get to be with them, and I get to thank them, and they get to walk beside me. Maybe I hold fear's hand and just say, thank you. Thank you for showing me something that needs transformation. But transformation is not just insights. It's not just, oh my gosh, man, this is an epiphany for me. No, you've got to have the insight and then take action. And I really, really, truly believe that the world needs to hear your message. The world needs you to share your story. The world needs you to show up and lead the way. I promise you that. I was talking to somebody else this week, and she said, Tina, the market is saturated. Like, I live in New York, and in my area, there's 30 coaches. I'm like, in your area, there's 1 million people. Consider there's not enough of you. You can't service that many people, but that's how many people need what you have to offer. And it was like a light bulb for her. Oh my gosh. See, BS, stories, reasons, excuses that stop us. When are we going to give that up? When are we going to see it for what it is? It's just a reason. It's just an excuse. It's just a consideration that is stopping us. This is my call to action. Right now, this is my call to action. You can take it on. And if you're resonating, if you're hearing me, say, I'm hearing you. This is my call to action. If you have never done a Facebook Live, I consider you to go on your personal page, not your business page, go on your personal page and share an insight. Share something of value. Share a story. Share a part of your life and the lesson that you learned. And you can say yes, or you can say no. You can sit in your fear, or you can be scared shitless and do it anyways. That, my friend, is your choice. But I promise you, when you take this action, you will see that people will connect. And you may see that the first one, not a lot of people see your video, and that's okay too. You get to be with all of it. No external validation, just showing up for you. So that is my call to action. At the end of October, I am doing a 5-day challenge. Thank you for those of you that filled out the poll, the questionnaire. It's stop procrastinating and blah, blah. Let me try this again. Stop procrastinating and start creating clients. See, I'm going to motivate you and inspire you every day for 5 days to create that client, to stop hiding, to start showing up powerfully online. I'll give you more details. More details are coming, but let me know what is resonating with you. What are you hearing for yourself? And are you a heck yes, hell yes, I'm doing a live. I'm finally getting out of my way. And if you're somebody who does a live, you do live all the time, but you're maybe watering down your message, maybe you're afraid to show up as yourself, I encourage you to be authentically you. Some people, the reasons and excuses people have for not showing up, I've heard them all. English isn't my first language. People can't understand me. I don't have the time. What I have to say doesn't really matter. Nobody's going to want to listen to me. I mean, I can go on for days about the reasons and excuses that I've heard. Notice it's just a reason. It's just an excuse. And it's just your brain playing tricks on you. So anyways, I try and keep these under 20 minutes. For those of you that watch the whole 20 minutes, thank you. As you can tell, I have the gift of gab. And not only that, I care about you. When you win, I win, right? Because my mission is to serve the evolution of the human race by empowering coaches to transform the world. I know that's you. I know that's you, and I can see you, okay? So cut that shit out. Stop hiding and start showing up. I love you from the bottom of my heart. Go be badass. Go do that video, and I'll see you back next week. Bye.